Assalamualaikum and welcome to the next video of Introduction to Euclid's Geometry. In today's class, we will be beginning with a new topic called as postulates. In last class, we have completed 7 different axioms in Euclid's Geometry. Now, let us first of all understand the difference between what are axioms and postulates before we move on back to postulate number 1. Now, when I say axioms, these are the statements or assumptions that are useful in any field, right? They are true for any field. It is not only for the field of mathematics or geometry. Example, there is an axiom called as the whole is greater than the part. Axiom number 5 that we have learned in yesterday's class. What does that mean? We discussed an example of an apple cut into 4 equal pieces, and if you just compare one piece of an apple to the whole apple, which would be greater? Definitely the whole apple. Now that is nowhere only related to mathematics, right? That could be used in any field of life. But when we speak about postulates, postulates are those statements or those assumptions. Now first of all, what is an assumption? Assumption is a thought which I think can be true. Okay? Example, when I say it may rain today, it's an assumption. I'm just thinking that it can rain. I'm not very sure about it. So these are assumptions or statements that can be true only for the field of geometry. In mathematics also, only for the field of geometry. Such statements or assumptions are called as postulates. So these are assumptions that are specific or that are completely related only to the field of geometry. So I hope you understood what is the difference between an axiom and a postulate. Let us begin with postulate number 1. Given two distinct points, there is a unique line that passes through them. That means if I have two distinct points, the meaning of distinct is different, completely different. If I have two different points, then there is one line, unique line that passes between those 2 points. It means that if I have something like point A and something like point B, these are two distinct points. Then there is a unique line that passes through them. That means from point A to point B, there can be a line that can be drawn. And when we say line, there is a unique line. It means it is a straight line only. You can't expect a curved line or any other type of line. It is always a straight line. So in between two different points, there is always a unique. Why is the word unique used? Unique is just that is very completely different from something else, right? Unique means very different. That means there can be no other line between A and B except this line. In simple words, if I have to say, between two different points, only one line can be drawn, straight line. Only one straight line can be drawn from point A to point B. There is no other line that can be drawn now. So that means if I have drawn this line AB, is there any other line that I can draw? No, because this is already completed. Now from point A, there can be many lines that can go here, like this, like this, like this. Many lines in many directions. From B also many different lines can go. But from point A to point B, only one common line, unique line can pass. I hope you understood the meaning of postulate 1. And now you also understand why it is called a postulate, because it is related only to geometry. That's why these kind of statements or assumptions are only specific to the field of geometry. They are called as postulates. So according to postulate number 1, given two distinct points, that means if I have two different points, there is a unique line that passes from point A to point B. That means that only one single line can be drawn from point A to point B. 2 lines, 3 lines, multiple lines cannot be drawn from one single point to another single point. I hope you have understood the meaning of postulate number 1. Second, a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Terminated line. Let me draw a line first, then I will come to the word terminated. So I have AB as a line. And what is terminated? The meaning of the word termination is to stop. Any line that is stopped. So this line is, if I start drawing the line from A, this line is stopped at B, or it is terminated at B. But if I draw from that side, if I start drawing from B, it is terminated at A, or it is stopped at A. This means that if I have any terminated line, it can be produced indefinitely. Indefinitely means something that does not have any extent. It can go up to anywhere. Produced means to extend. So that means I can extend this point B to any length I want, and I can extend this point A, the line, up to any length I want. That is the meaning of produced indefinitely. That means extending the line up to any length you want is called as produced indefinitely. Terminated line, a line that is stopped somewhere, can be extended up to whichever length you want. That is the meaning of postulate number 2. Coming to postulate number 3, a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Circle. So if I have a circle, right? You have done constructions in your last your 8th standard. So every circle has a center, correct? Let me call the center of this circle as O, correct? That means if I choose this as center, I will have my compass and I will draw the circle here. But what if I choose the center here? If I choose the center here, I will keep the compass here and I will draw a circle, correct? And if I choose a center here, I will keep the compass here and I will draw a circle. That means I can choose whichever center I want. That is the meaning of the first part. Circle can be drawn with any center. Now if you have a paper, example, if I have a paper here, I can draw a circle here, 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 wherever I want. That means I can choose whichever point as the center and draw the circle. With any radius. Now what is the radius? Radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. Example, if I tell you draw a circle of radius 3 cm, what will you do? You will take your scale and compass, measure 3 cm and draw a circle, correct? Now that measurement that you are taking to draw a circle is called as radius. So first time, let us say the radius here is 3 cm. So I can draw a circle of 3 cm. Here, let us say I have drawn a circle of 2 cm. So radius is 2 cm. Here I have drawn a circle of 1 cm. That means radius is 1 cm. So I can draw a circle with any center, that means wherever I want as the center, and with any radius, that means with any measurement. I hope you have understood the third postulate as well. So please note down all the 3 postulates along with examples that I have explained, depending upon your own words. It's okay, you can write in whichever words you want as long as you understand, but the postulates will have to remain same. Examples can be of your choice. We have 2 more postulates remaining, postulate number 4 and 5, which I will do in the next class. Please complete your notes until then, and thank you for watching the video.